I think I'll do this piece actually because on the 11th, like a couple of days ago on 11th of September, 300, this is a bit of a downer, so I'm sorry about this, but 300 Pakistani textile workers died in factory fires in textile factories in Pakistan because the conditions are extremely unsafe, they don't have proper health and safety legislation, doors are all locked. And it was very, very redolent of an incident that happened in 1911, 101 years ago in New York, in a factory called the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, where like 113 migrant garment workers died, and it's kind of fucked up that it's 101 years ago and that sort of shit is still happening. So I'll do this piece, it's called March 25th, 1911. It's about that, and if it makes some small contribution to the development of a movement to stop that sort of thing from ever happening again, then it will have served the purpose. So apologies for the slightly doer subject matter, but you picked it. March 25th, 1911. They were searching for streets paved with gold to save them, but the streets weren't paved at all, and they were expected to pave them. They paid their debt to America in blood, and were only held together by solidarity and love, and the trip across the sea was bad enough, adding up to weeks of bad conditions, after which they'd had enough, and after that ordeal came Ellis Island. Daunted by the future and haunted by the world they'd left behind them, some still clung to the prayers that their fathers said, and others put their faith in a struggle based on class instead, but all are simply finding their way through like a lost child, and the new world to them is alien and kind of hostile, and as far as work went, they took what could be got, and that was a sweatshop lot. Slave labour for a boss. The dream that they'd envisioned seemed distant because they'd come to flee oppression, but this wasn't much different. And the East Side was a proper ghetto in the first place, full of young flowers uprooted from their birthplace. And in a 10-story workplace making shirtwaists, the logic of it all plays out in the worst case, where Washington Place meets and intersects Green Street. The slaves were bonded on $1.50 each week. Now, there'd been strikes before, but thoughts of workers' power are kind of hard to come by after working 14 hours, and conditions in the place were kind of typical. It was that same old all-day